This pecha kucha will explain the processes of the digestive system. While many people simply associate the process of digestion with the stomach, it actually involves much more. Through the use of its various components, the digestive system prepares and breaks down food, so the body can effectively absorb all the nutrients and vitamins needed. Your mouth, more specifically your teeth, begin the digestive process. The teeth break up food into more digestible pieces through mastication. Saliva further helps this by wetting and softening the food to make it easier to chew. The mouth is also where the majority of sugar digestion occurs for carbohydrates. Once the food has been chewed and swallowed, it travels farther down the body through the esophagus. Its fibroelastic structure allows food to smoothly pass through and be channeled down the throat. While the food is traveling down the esophagus, the amylase in the saliva continues to break down the food until it reaches the cardiac sphincter, where it enters the stomach.
The stomach is comprised of two main regions, known as the superior and inferior regions. The superior region of the stomach extends and connects to the esophagus, and the lower region of the stomach descends and connects to the duodenum, which is the first part of the small intestine. The overall structure of the stomach does a lot in contributing to its functions. The interior of the stomach secretes acid and is lined with ridge-like muscle tissue known as rugae. This acid assists in digestion, and this ridge-like structure is what allows the stomach to mix and mash the food and aid in digestion.
The stomach prepares hard-to-digest proteins and fats for further digestion. There's two kinds of digestion in the stomach, mechanical digestion and chemical digestion. Mechanical digestion is the physical division of a mass of food into smaller masses, while chemical digestion is the chemical conversion of larger molecules into smaller molecules. The mixing action of the stomach walls allows for mechanical digestion to occur within the stomach. This mixing combines partially digested food with gastric juices produced within the stomach. This mixing leads to the production of a thick liquid known as chyme. Chemical digestion occurs through the enzymes present in the gastric juice of the stomach. The gastric juice breaks down food molecules into smaller subunits. The chemical digestion begun in the stomach will not be completed until the chyme mixture reaches the small intestines.
While the small intestine is smaller than the large intestine in terms of diameter, it is significantly longer and has an average length of 22 feet and 6 inches in adult males and 23 feet and 4 inches in adult females. It is made up of three main segments known as the duodenum, the jejunum, and the ileum, and is lined with hair-like projections called villi. Once the food enters the small intestine, 90% of the digestion process and absorption of nutrients takes place. The food then travels through the small intestine, starting in the duodenum. The duodenum is the first of the three main components of the small intestine, and is where the content of the chyme changes from acidic to basic. After passing through the duodenum, the digestion of proteins continues through the help of pancreatic juice. It is also in this segment that bile from the gallbladder begins to break down fat globules into tiny droplets. This is done through the process of emulsification, which assists in their overall digestion. The partially digested food then continues on to the jejunum, which is the second main component of the small intestine. This segment's inner walls are lined with a mucous membrane and are covered in long villi, which are responsible for catching and absorbing nutrients, such as carbohydrates, proteins, vitamins, minerals, and more. After passing through the jejunum, the food then enters the ileum, which is the third and final segment of the small intestine. Similar to the jejunum, the ileum is also lined with villi responsible for catching nutrients, though the ones located in this segment are significantly smaller than those located in the jejunum. This difference in size is due to the fact that these villi are mainly responsible for absorbing the remaining nutrients that those in the jejunum fail to catch. Food then continues to be pushed through the body through peristalsis, where it eventually exits the small intestine and enters the large intestine through the ileocecal valve.
The large intestine is the final section of the gastrointestinal tract that performs the vital task of absorbing water and vitamins while converting digested food into feces. Although shorter than the small intestine, the large intestine has a much larger diameter, thus giving it its name. The liver is responsible for many roles, but its main responsibility is to process the absorbed nutrients from the small intestine. The liver also secretes bile into the small intestine, which assists in the digestion of fats. Because of its many functions, the liver is commonly referred to as the body's chemical factory. This name also refers to the liver's responsibility of taking the materials, aka the nutrients, absorbed in the small intestine, and transforming them into the various chemicals the body needs in order to function properly. The liver also removes potentially harmful substances from these chemicals and breaks them down. The gallbladder stores all the bile that the liver makes, releasing the bile when we eat a meal that has extra fat that needs to be digested. Normal digestion is possible without a gallbladder. The food that needs extra digestion will instead be digested inside the small intestine. Your rectum and anus are the very last stop in your digestive system. They're at the end of your large intestine and receive the waste products that are left over from the food you've eaten about a day after you first ate it. At this stage, all the nutrients in the food have been absorbed by your small intestine, and the last few vitamins, minerals, and water have been absorbed by your large intestine. All that is left is the solid waste called feces, which is made up of water as well as bacteria, both alive and dead, undigested nutrients like proteins or fats, mucus from the intestines, and fiber, which humans cannot digest. That is the end of our pecha kucha. Thank you very much for watching.